Okay, start of Act 2. Ready, set, go. Oh, we need a Montano. And we need 2 gentlemen. 3 gentlemen. Do you want to be Montano? Little parts. You got him? Okay, and gentleman 1, will you be 1? Okay, how about 2? Was that not really a hand, but I saw it move, so you get it anyway. Remind you want to be 2 and Miriam want to be 3? Okay. That's what you get for eating donuts. See your hands moving. All right. No big deal. Okay, so location, we are now in Cyprus. Okay, we know that Othello is going off to deal with the Turkish fleet and they were heading towards Cyprus. Okay, so Montano, if you cheat and look at the front, is the governor of Cyprus. Okay, so we start with the governor.
What from the Cape can we discern and see? Nothing at all. It is a high wrought flood, not twist the heaven in the main. Surprise.
Right, so they're looking out into the sea, trying to figure out what's going on out there. Can't see any sail.
Methinks the wind hath spoke on all of you. A fuller blast near shook our battlements. If it hath ruffianed means like shook around, so knocked it up. What ribs of oath when the mountains melt on them? And full of the mortals, what shall we hear of this?
All right, so it's been a terrible, terrible storm at sea. This is the bottom line there.
A segregation of the Turkish fleet. For deep but stand upon the foaming shore, the children below seem to pelt the clouds. The wind
wind shaked surge. So terrible storm.
Surge with a high monstrous wind. Seems to cast water on the burning deer and to quench the guards of the ever fixed hole. I never did like molestation on the end chap flood.
If that is truth that we be not sheltered and conveyed, they are drowned. It is impossible to bear it out.
Okay, so it's possible the Turkish fleet was actually just sunk at sea because the storm was so bad. All right, here comes a 3rd gentleman.
News not, words are done. The desperate tempest have obeyed the truth, not their denying and faults. A noble ship of Venice had seen the previous year in suffering on most part of their fleet.
All right, so looks like maybe they don't even have to fight because the Turkish fleet has sunk in the storm.
How? Is this true?
The ship here is put in. Veronese. I'm so happy. We started to go like more elements. There's Colin Trump. The more himself at sea and his full commission here with Cyprus.
All right, so they get the news because Michael Cassio, the right-hand man to Othello, has arrived and told them what happened. But it turns out that Othello is still out at sea. So there's some possibility that maybe he's still in danger or has not survived the storm.
I'm glad on him. 'Tis a worthy government.
But the same Cassio, with his speak of comfort, touching the Turkish loss, yet he looked soundly and praised them would be safe, for they were parted without silence.
Pray heaven he be, for I have served him in the man commands like a full soldier. Let's to the seaside ho, as well to see the vessel let's come up, as to throw out our eyes for great Othello, even till we make the main in the aerial blue indistinct with water.
All right, so they're worried about Othello. 3.
Come, let's do so, for every man is expectancy and water up.
Thanks to you, the valiant of this warlike isle, that so approve the more. Oh, let the heavens give him defense against the elements, for I've lost him on a dangerous sea.
Is he well shipped?
His bark is stoutly timbered, and his pilot very expert and free for lawns. Therefore my hopes, not surfeited to death, stand in bold cheer.
All right, so somebody yelling, a sail, a sail, a sail. So they've spotted a ship out at sea.
What noise?
The town is empty. On the brow of the sea stand ranks of people and they cry a sail.
My hopes do shape him for the governor.
And then they hear a shot going off. 2.
They who discharge their shot of sea are friends at least.
I pray you, sir, go forth and give us truth of who 'tis that is arrived.
2.
Oh, I shall, but good with that. Is your general with?
Why? That means is she married? Is he married? Sorry.
Most fortunately, he hath achieved and made that paragon's description and wild fame, one that excels the quirks of blazoning pens, and in the essential vesture of creation does tire the engineering.
All right, so he's got a great wife, basically. All right, second gentleman comes in.
How, who has put?
Oh, that's still
Oh,
Cassio though.
No, who has put in?
this one, Iago, ancient to the general.
Has had most favorable and happy speed, tempests themselves, high seas and howling winds, the guttered rocks and congregated sands, traders and steep to clog the gutless keel, as having sense of beauty, do omit their mortal natures, letting go safely by the divine Desdemona.
All right, so Desdemona has arrived safely, but her husband hasn't arrived yet.
What is she?
She that I spake of, our great captain's captain, left in the conduct of the bold Iago, whose footing here anticipates our thoughts at
7 nights speed.
7 nights speed. Great Jove, Othello guard, and swell his sail with thine own powerful breath, that he may bless this bay with his tall ship, make love's quick pants in Desdemona's arms, give renewed fire to our extinct spirits, and bring all Cyprus comfort.
All right, so here come Desdemona, Iago, Rodrigo, and we're meeting Amelia for the first time. That's Iago's wife. Somebody want to be Amelia?
Yeah.
Oh, you have her already? Okay.
Oh, behold, the riches of the ship is come on shore. You men of Cyprus, let her have your knees. Hail to thee, lady, and the grace of heaven, before, behind thee, and on every hand, and wheel thee round.
I thank you then, Cassio. What tidings can you tell me of my lord?
He is not yet arrived, nor know I aught but that he's well and will be shortly here.
Oh, but I fear, how lost in company.
The great contention of the sea and skies parted our fellowship.
A sail, let her a sail.
They give their greeting to Citadel. This likewise is a fun.
All right,
See for the news.
still you, Cassio.
Good ancient, you are welcome. Welcome, mistress. Let it not gall your patience, Lord Iago, that I send my manners. 'Tis my breeding that gives me this bold show of courtesy.
All right, so he like kisses her hand. So Iago was right. He's kind of a touchy-feely kind of guy, but it seems like he kind of does that to everybody. He's just known for being one of those people, you know, the people that kiss you on both cheeks kind of thing. Not everybody does it, but some people do. So Michael Cassio's got the reputation of he's kind of touchy-feely, but you know, kind of does it to everybody.
Sir, would she give you so much of her lips as of her tongue she oft bestows on me? You would have enough.
Right. So he's not very nice to his wife, right? She's giving you her lips because she's letting him kiss like on the cheek kind of thing. He's like, oh yeah, if she'd give you her tongue, you'd have enough because she's constantly talking and yapping and it's annoying. So it's not a nice thing to say about your wife.
Alas, she has no speech.
In faith, too much. I find it still when I list to sleep. Mary, before your ladyship I grant, she puts her tongue a little in her heart, and cries with him.
You have little cause to say so.
Come on, come on. You are pictures out of doors. Bells in your parlor, wild cats in your kitchens, saints in your communities, devils being offended. Players in your huswifery, and huswives in your beds.
Oh, I upon thee, slanderer.
Nay, it is true, or else I am returned. You rise to play and go to bed to work.
All right, so it's a lot of dirty, sassy kind of talk that he's bantering here. Don't worry too much about the literal interpretation of all of it, but the general gist is he's very insulting to his wife. And where he's going with this, we're not quite sure. But they kind of play around along with it in almost a flirty kind of teasing type way.
You shall not write my praise.
Yeah,
No, let me not.
What's right of me if thou shouldst praise me?
Oh, gentle lady, do not put me to it. For I am nothing if not critical.
right. So she's like, oh, what do you have to say about me? And he's like, because he is kind of known for bashing on women. He's like, you don't want me to do it. You don't want me to do it. Kind of just like, no, tell me what you say.
Come on and say there's one gone to the heart.
Aye, madame.
I am not married, but I do beguile the thing I am by seeing otherwise. Come, how wouldst thou praise me?
I am about it, but indeed my invention comes from my pates as bird mind does from trees. It plucks out brains and all, but my muse labors, and thus she is delivered. If she be fair and wise, fairness and wit, the ones the ones for use, the other using them.
Well praised, how she be black and witty.
If she be black, and thereto have a wit, she'll find a white that shall her blackness hid.
Worse and worse.
How unfair and foolish.
She never yet was foolish that was fair, for even her folly helped her to an heir.
These are old fond paradoxes to make fools laugh.
In the alehouse.
What miserable praise hast thou for her that's foul and foolish?
There's none so foul and foolish thereunto, but this foul prince which fair and wise ones do.
O heavy ignorance, thou praisest the worst best. But what praise couldst thou bestow on the living woman in chief? One that in the authority of her merit did justly put on the vows of very malice itself.
She that was ever fair and never proud, had tongue at will, and yet was never loud. Never lacked gold, and yet went never gay. Fled from her wish, and yet said, now amen. She that being angered and revenged, being nigh, bade her wrong stay, and her displeasure fly. She that in wisdom never was so frail, to change the cod's head from the salmon's tail. She that could think, and never disclose her mind, see suitors following, and not look behind. She was a white, if ever such wit were,
To do what?
to suckle fools and chronicle small beer.
O most layman and conclusion. Do not learn of Amelia, though he be thy husband. How say you, Cassio? Is he not a most profane and liberal counselor?
He speaks home, madam. You may relish him more in the soldier than in the scholar.
Yeah, so he's really a better soldier than he is like a scholar. He's trying to tell jokes basically, using his wit, and it basically just putting down wit.
Aside. He takes,
Side means that you say something to somebody that only supposedly that person can hear, and since he's not speaking any directly to anybody, he's basically talking out loud to himself, his own thoughts that the audience gets to hear.
he takes her by the palm. Aye, well said.
All right, so he's watching. He's like, "Oh, Michael Cassio pulling her aside by the hand, kissing her on the hand." This is totally going to play into his whole purpose of trying to get Othello jealous. Even though Michael Cassio is touchy-feely with everybody, we just saw him do it with Amelia. For his purposes, he's going to try to make it look like Michael Cassio is really into Desdemona.
Well said. Whisper. With as little as web as this will I ensnare as great a fly's Cassio. I smile upon her, do. I will give thee in thine own fortune. You say true, 'tis so indeed. If such tricks as these strip you out of your lieutenantry, it had been better you had not kissed your 3 fingers so oft, which now again you are most apt to play the Surin. Very good, well kissed, an excellent courtesy. 'Tis so indeed. Yet again your fingers to your lips. Would they were clyster pipes for your sake. Trumpets.
The trumpets are blowing, so the announcement of Othello's arrival.
The more I know his trumpet.
Right, so he's like, "Oh, this is just so perfect," because he's just doting on her and being a total sap. And he's gonna set this trap for Othello, and he's gonna catch Othello like a spider's web, because it's gonna be just so easy to convince him that Michael Cassio is into Desdemona.
'Tis truly so.
Let's meet him and receive.
Lo, where he comes.
O my fair warrior,
My dear Othello,
it gives me wonder great is my content to see you here before me. O my soul's joy, yet after every tempest come such calms. May the winds blow till they have wakened death, and let the laboring bark climb hills of seas, Olympus high, and duck again as low as hells from heaven. If it were now to die, 'twere now to be most happy, for I fear my soul hath her content so absolute. that not another comfort like to this succeeds in unknown fate.
Right, so it's kind of a strange thing to say. If I were to die right now, this is as happy as I'm ever going to be. He survived the storm. He's reunited with his wife, right? Everything is good. It's also kind of a foreshadowing. Okay, if this is as good as it gets, I guess it's kind of all downhill from here then, right? And also, we just found out about the whole trap that Iago is setting for him. So it could be a premonition of what's to come.
The heavens forbid, but that our loves and comforts should increase even as our days do grow.
Right? She's like, no, this isn't the happiest. They're going to get happier and happier because we're just going to be together forever and ever.
Amen to that, sweet powers. I cannot speak enough of this content. It stops me here. It is too much of joy. In this, the greatest discords be.
All right, so they're all over each other.
That our hearts shall know.
Iago again aside, just to the audience.
Oh, you are well tuned now. But I'll set down the pegs that make this music. As honest as I am.
Right, so I was like, yeah, you're happy now, but just you wait.
Come, let us to the castle. Come, let us to the castle. News, friends, our wars are done. The Turks are drowned. How does my old acquaintance of this isle? Honey, you shall be well desired in Cyprus. I have found great love amongst them, O my sweet. I prattle out of fashion, and I dote in mine own comforts. I prithee, good Iago, go to the bay and disembark my coffers. Bring thou the master to the citadel. He is a good one, and his worthiness does challenge much respect. Come, Desdemona, once more we'll meet at Cyprus.
Well met at Cyprus. So he's so happy to see her at Cyprus. So exeunt plural, more people than just one leaving. Othello and Desdemona leave, right? And so we just leave Iago and Rodrigo together. So again, Rodrigo not super happy to see Othello arriving safely, because if he had only drowned at sea, maybe he'd have a chance with Desdemona. Iago?
Do thou meet me presently at the harbor? Come hither. If thou best valiant, as they say, base men being in love have won a nobility in their natures more than is native to them. List me. The lieutenant tonight watches on the court of guard. First, I must tell thee this: Desdemona is directly in love with him.
All right, so newsflash. He's talking about Michael Cassio, and he tells Rodrigo, bad news, Desdemona's in love with Michael Cassio, which is horrible, right? Rodrigo's in love with Desdemona. Not only is she married to Othello, but now she's apparently in love with Michael Cassio too. So he's definitely got some kind of a plot up his sleeve. Iago does. Rodrigo, what are you going to make of that?
With him? Why, it is not possible. Lay thy finger thus, and let thy soul be instructed. Mark me with what violence she first loved the more, but for bragging and telling her fantastical lies. To love him still for prating. Let not thy discreet heart think of, for I must be fed, and what delight shall have to look on the devil.
Right. So she's got her eye has to be fed. It's not just a physical thing. She needs to like feel good about what she's looking at. And Othello, he's like, nah, not so good to look at. Right. So she's apparently all caught up now in Michael Cassio.
When the blood is made dull with the act of sport, there should be again to inflame it and to give satiety, a fresh appetite. Loveliness and favor, sympathy and years, manners and beauties, all which the more is defective in.
Yeah. So the Moor doesn't have any of those great qualities. She needs to feed her desire. She's already been satiated. She's already gotten with the Othello. So she's got that out of her system. Now she needs something good to look at, and that's Michael Cassio.
Now, for want of these required conveniences, her delicate tenderness will find itself abused, begin to heave the gorge. Disrelish, we abhor
and abhor. So she's not going to relish the Moor anymore. She's not going to be in love with him. She's going to hate him.
Very nature will instruct her in it and compel her to some second choice. Now, sir, this granted, as it is a most pregnant and unforced position, who stands so in the degree of this fortune as Cassio does, a knave very voluble, no further unconscionable than putting on the mere form of civil and humane seaman, for the better compass of his salt and most hidden loose affection. Why none? Why none? a slipper and subtle knave, a finder out of occasion. That has an eye can stamp in counterfeit advantages, though true advantages never present itself. A devilish knave. Besides, the knave is handsome, young, and hath all those requisites in which that folly and green minds look out. A pestilent, complete knave, and the woman has found him already.
Yeah, so he's a pretty boy. He's got everything she could possibly want, and she's already got her eye on him. Rodrigo?
I cannot believe that inner full of most blessed condition.
Blessed figs end. The wine she drinks is made of grapes.
Yes, she's just like any other woman. Her wine isn't anything special. It's made out of grapes, just like everybody else's.
If she had been blessed, she would never have loved the more. Blessed pudding. Didst thou not see her paddle with the palm of his hand? Didst not mark that?
Right, so he's playing it off with Rodrigo as well, trying to get him to think that Michael Cassio is in love with Desdemona, and Desdemona is returning that love. Didn't you see how they played with each other's hands and kissed each other and everything? That was all lovey. It was all just kind of superficial niceties, I guess, but he's trying to make more of it.
Yes, that I did, but that was but courtesy.
Lechery, by this hand, an index and obscure prologue to the history of lust and foul thoughts. They met so near with their lips and their breaths embraced together. Villainous thoughts. Rodrigo, when these
Mutualities.
so marshal the way, hard at hand comes the master and main exercise. The incorporate conclusion, pitch. But sir, be you ruled by me. I have brought you from Venice. Watch you tonight. For the command, I'll lay it upon you. Cassio knows you not. It'll not be far from you. Do you find some occasion to anger Cassio, either by speaking too loud or tainting his discipline, or from what other course you please, which the time shall more favorably minister?
All right, so bottom line tonight, go to Cassio and find some occasion to anger him, right? Do something to annoy him, to make him mad, right? And I'll figure out how to administer this whole thing favorably. So Michael Cassio doesn't know Rodrigo at all. And Rodrigo's just supposed to go and pick a fight with Cassio tonight, and Iago's going to take care of the whole thing. That's all the direction he gives him. No more details about the plan.
Well,
Iago?
Oh. Sir, he's rash and very sudden in color.
And choler means anger. So Michael Cassio apparently has kind of a quick fuse. He's easy to anger.
And haply may strike at you. Provoke him that he may.
Yeah, get him to hit you. Get him to actually, actually make some kind of a physical something against you.
For even out of what will I cause these of Cyprus to meet me, whose qualifications shall come to no true taste again, but by the displanting of Cassio.
Yeah, we'll get him to he's going to pick the fight. He's going to throw the first punch, and then he's going to get fired. He's going to be displanted. He's going to lose his position as Othello's right-hand man.
So shall you have a shorter journey to your desires by the means I shall then have to prefer them, and the impediment most profitably removed, with the which there were no expectation of our prosperity.
Right, so he convinces him that Michael Cassio is in his way, right? In Rodrigo's way of getting with Desdemona. If you can get him to throw the punch and get in a fight, we'll get him fired, get rid of him, then he won't be nearly as desirable for Desdemona anymore, right? And then you can be with Desdemona. Also happens to suit Iago's purposes, to ruin Michael Cassio, who has the job that Iago wants, right? All right, Rodrigo?
I will do this if you can bring it to any opportunity.
I warrant thee, meet me by and by at the citadel. I must fetch his necessaries ashore. Farewell.
Adieu.
All right, now we get inside Iago's head, soliloquy, which means that he's talking directly to the audience, nobody else on stage, and we get inside his thoughts. There's no reason for him to lie in any kind of way. This should be his true thoughts, because it's just him on stage.
That Cassio loves her. I do well believe it. That she loves him. 'Tis apt and of great credit.
right? So it's not really true, but it's creditable. I can make a case for it. But he does really think that Cassio is in love with Desdemona.
The more, howbeit I endure him not, is of a constant, loving, noble nature. And I dare think he'll prove to Desdemona a most dear husband. Now I do love her too.
Okay, that's a news flash that he is also in love with Desdemona. So this just gets more and more involved.
Not out of absolute lust, though peradventure I stand a competent for as great a sin, but partly led to diet my revenge, for that I do suspect the lusty Moor hath leapt into my seat.
All right, so why does he love her? Because Othello apparently has slept with Iago's wife. That makes him automatically want to then be with Othello's wife. It's just natural. It's just payback, right? So it's not, I think love is kind of a misused term here, but he's saying he's got an interest in Desdemona as well because he wants to pay back Othello for maybe possibly sleeping with his wife, but he actually doesn't have any proof of that either. Okay?
The thought whereof doth, like a poisonous mineral, gnaw my inwards, and nothing can or shall content my soul. Till I am even within, wife for wife, or fallen so, yet that I put the Moor at least into a jealousy so strong that judgment cannot cure.
Right. So if I can't be with his wife, at least I'm going to ruin it by making him so jealous he just can't even live.
Which thing to do? If this poor trash of Venice, whom I trace for his quick hunting, stand the putting on, I shall have our Michael Cassio on the head, abuse him to the Moor in the rank garb, for I fear Cassio with my nightcap too. Make the Moor thank me, love me, and reward me for making him egregiously an ass, and practicing upon his peace and plight, even to madness. 'Tis here, but yet confused, Knavery's plan, face is never seen till used.
All right, then we've just got a herald announcing the party. Okay, so it is Othello's pleasure, our noble and valiant general, that upon certain tidings now arrived, importing the mere perdition of the Turkish fleet, every man put himself into triumph, some to dance, some to make bonfires, each man to what sport and revels his addiction leads him. For besides these beneficial news, it is the celebration of his nuptial. So much was his pleasure should be proclaimed. All offices are open, and there is full liberty of feasting from this present hour of 5 till the bell have tolled 11. Heaven bless the Isle of Cyprus and our noble general Othello. So, big party. Here we come.
Good Michael,
I was just going to say back to Othello. Go ahead.
good Michael, look you to the guard tonight. Let's teach ourselves that honorable stop, not to outsport discretion.
Cassio?
Oh, Iago hath direction what to do, but notwithstanding with my personal eye will I look to it.
Iago is most honest, Michael. Good night. Tomorrow with your earliest, let me have speech with you. Come, my dear love. Oh, there's more, sorry. The purchase made, the fruits are to ensue.
And so the purchase made, meaning the wedding contract. The fruits are to ensue. He's still waiting for more of the honeymoon.
The profits yet to come between me and you. Good night.
All right, so he leaves with Desdemona. He's having this huge wedding party, but he and Desdemona are going off to have their own private wedding party.
Welcome, Iago, we must to the watch.
Not this hour, Lieutenant. 'Tis not yet 10 o'clock. Our general cast us thus early for the love of his Desdemona, who let us not therefore blame. He hath not yet made wanted the night with me, and she is sport for love, for Jove.
For Jove. All right, so they're going off to get with each other, celebrate their wedding marriage. Cassius? Or sorry, Cassio. Wrong play.
He's a most exquisite lady.
And I'll win her, full grip, full game.
Indeed, she's the most fresh and delicate creature.
Right, so Cassio's saying nice things about her. She's pure, she's innocent, and Iago's trying to make it all dirty. Yeah, she's full of game. She's really into like sex stuff.
What an eye she has! Methinks it sounds a parley to provocation.
An inviting eye, and yet methinks right modest.
And when she speaks, it is not an alarum to love.
She is indeed perfection.
Well, happiness to their sheets. Come, Lieutenant. I have a stoup of wine, and here without are a brace of Cyprus gallons that would fain have a measure to the health of Black Othello.
All right, so basically, let's go get drunk.
Not tonight, good Iago. I have very poor and unhappy brains for drinking. I could well wish courtesy would invent some other custom of entertainment.
All right, so Cassio, self-professed, whether he's actually an alcoholic or just somebody who knows he can't handle his liquor, he's saying, nope, I wish there was some other way to celebrate, can't do it, not gonna drink.
Oh, they are our friends, but one cup, I'll drink for you.
I have drunk but one cup tonight, and that was craftily qualified too. And behold what innovation it makes here. I am infortunate in the infirmity, and dare not task my weakness with any more.
All right, so he can't hold his liquor, he knows it.
What, man? 'Tis a night of revels, the gallant's desire.
Okay, and this is the ultimate like fraternity peer pressure here, right? What are you, a man? Come on, drink, let's go.
Where are they?
Here, at the door, I pray you call them in.
I'll do it, but it's just like
It's okay, fine, I'll drink, but it really isn't good for me.
If I can fasten but one cup upon him, with that which he hath drunk tonight already, he'll be as full of quarrel and offence as my young mistress's dog, now my sick fool Rodrigo, whom love hath turned almost the wrong side out. To Desdemona half the night corrupts, potations pottled deep, and he's to watch. 3 else of Cyprus, noble swelling spirits that hold their honors in a wary distance. The very elements of this warlike isle have I tonight flustered with flowing cups, and they watch too. Now amongst the flock of drunkards.
All right, so everybody's drunk. Okay, this is definitely Iago's plan, and definitely his plan to get Michael Cassio to drink too much because he knows he can't handle it.
Am I to put our Cassio in some action that may offend the isle? But here they come.
So, Silju.
If consequences do but approve my dream, my boat sails freely, both wind and stream.
poor God, they've given me a rouse already.
Who's our Montano? Who's the governor? Yep. Good faith.
Where is he?
Line 66. Good faith, a little one, not past a pint, as I am a soldier. Iago?
Some wine, ho, and let
Sing
me.
Oh yeah, you don't have to actually sing it, but
You have to sing it.
you get the idea.
Let's read it.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me the canac and clink, and let me the canac and clink. A soldier's a man, oh man's life but a span. Why then let a soldier drink? Some wine, boys?
Poor God, an excellent song.
I learnt it in England, where indeed that they are most potent in potting. Your Dane, your German, and your swag-bellied Hollander, drink, ho, are nothing to your English.
Is your Englishman so exquisite in his drinking?
Why, he drinks you with facility. Your Dane dead drunk. He sweats not to overthrow your Almain. He gives your Hollander a vomit ere the next bottle can be filled.
To the help of our general.
I am for it, Lieutenant, and I'll do you justice.
Oh, sweet England. King Stephen was a worthy peer. His breeches cost him but a crown. He held them 6 pence all too dear. With that he called the tailor loud. He was a wit of high renown, and thou art but of low degree. With pride that pulls thy country down, then take thy old cloak about thee. Some wine, ho.
Poor God, this is a more exquisite song than the other.
Will you heart again?
Hear it again.
Hear it
You
again.
want me to sing it again?
No, for I hold him to be unworthy of his place that does those things. Well, God's above all, and there be souls must be saved, and there be souls must not be saved.
It's true, good lieutenant.
For mine own part, no offense to the general, nor any man of quality, I hope to be saved.
And so do I, too, lieutenant.
Aye, but by your leave, not before me. The lieutenant is to be saved before the ancient. Let's have no more of this. Let's to our affairs. God forgive our sins. Gentlemen, let's look to our business. Do not think, gentlemen, I am drunk. This is my ancient, this is my right hand, and this is my left hand. I am not drunk now. I can stand well enough, and I speak well enough.
All right, first clue that somebody is completely wasted is their pronouncement that they are not drunk. Okay, so now I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk. This is my right hand. This is my left hand. Right, he is absolutely wasted. Excellent. Well,
Why, very well then. You must not think then that I am drunk.
To the platform, masters, come. Let's set off the watch, or set the watch.
You see this fellow that has gone before, and give direction, and do not see his voice.
oh, you missed a line.
You see, oh. He's a soldier fit to stand by Caesar, and give direction, and do but see his vice. Tis to his virtue a just equinox. The one as long as the other, tis pity of him. I fear the trust Othello puts him in, on some odd time of his infirmity, will shake this island.
All right, so as soon as Cassio steps away, Iago finds somebody else to talk smack talk about somebody. So now he pulls the governor aside. He's like, you see this guy, this Michael Cassio? I'm worried about how much faith Othello puts in him because you can see he's just he's a drunk, right? It's a problem. Well, he's the one who set the whole thing in motion for it, right?
But is he often thus?
Tis every morn the prologue to his sleep.
Yeah, it's pretty much every night before he goes to bed, he's wasted.
He'll watch the orlog a double set, if drink rock not his cradle.
It were well, the general were put in mind of it.
Yeah, we should probably tell Othello if this guy is getting wasted every night before bed.
Perhaps he sees it not, or his good nature prizes the virtue that appears in Cassio, and looks not on his evils. Is not this true?
Here
Is
come-
Cassio actually getting drunk every night, or is that?
No.
Okay.
This is he tries not to drink at all ever.
How now, Rodrigo? I pray you, after the lieutenant go.
And 'tis great pity that the noble Moor should hazard such a place as his own second, with one of an ingraft infirmary. If were an honest act, you would say, so go, or so to the Moor.
Yeah, we should tell him he's got a total drunk for his right-hand man.
Not I. For this fair island, I do love Cassio well. I would do much to cure him of his evils.
And then we hear screaming in the background, help, help!
But hark, what noise?
Okay, here comes Cassio running after Rodrigo.
Zounds, you rogue, you rascal!
What's the matter, Lieutenant?
A knave, teach me my duty, I'll beat the knave into a twig and bottle.
Beat me.
Dost thou prate, rogue?
He starts hitting Rodrigo.
Nay, good lieutenant, I pray you, sir, hold your hand.
Let me go, sir, or I'll knock you over the mazard.
Come, you're drunk.
Drunk?
All right, they start fighting, and then Iago says to Rodrigo to the side.
Away, I said. Go out and cry in mutiny.
So Rodrigo takes off. So you.
Nay, good lieutenant. God's will, gentlemen, help ho, lieutenant, sir, Montana, sir, help masters, here's a goodly watch indeed. Who's that which rings the bell? Diablo, ho, the town will rise, God's will, lieutenant, hold. You'll be ashamed forever.
All right, so here come Othello and all of his people with him.
What is the matter here?
Zounds, I bleed still. I am hurt to be dead. Dies.
All right, so apparently in the scuffle, the governor got stabbed.
Hold for your lives.
Hold, ho, lieutenant, sir, Montana, gentlemen, have you forgot all place of sense and duty? Hold, the general speaks to you, hold for shame.
Why, how now, ho? From whence ariseth this? Are we turned Turks, and to ourselves do that which heaven hath forbid the Ottomites? For Christian shame put this barbarous brawl. He that stirs next to carve for his own rage. Holds his soul light, he dies upon his motion. Silence that dreadful bell, it frights the eye. From her propriety, what is the matter? What is the matter, masters? Honest Iago, that looks dead with grieving. Speak, who began this? O thy love, I charge thee.
I do not know. Friends all, but now, even now, in quarter and in turns like bride and groom, devastating them for Ben, and then, but now, as if some friend had unwitted men, swords out and tilting one at other's breast, in opposition bloody. I cannot speak any beginning to this peevish honest. And what an action glorious, I lost those legs that brought me to a parliament.
How comes it, Michael? You are thus forgot.
I pray you pardon me, I cannot speak.
Worthy Montano, you were wont to be civil, the gravity and stillness of your youth. The world hath noted, and your name is great in mouths of wives as censure. What's the matter that you unlace your reputation thus, and spend your rich opinion for the name of a night brawler? Give me answer to it.
Worthy Othello, I'm put to danger, your officer, Iago, and conform you.
All right, we'll shake out what all went down. But we know Rodrigo started it all. Got Cassio mad enough to hit at him. And in the shuffle, they also got Montano. Well, Rodrigo took off out of here because Iago told him to. So how it shakes out, we will find out next time. And we'll finish up Act 2 very quickly next time and then take a quiz.